Hi guys, welcome back on the channel. In this video, we're going to talk about solo wargaming. I thought being a predominantly solo gamer, or 99.9% solo gamer for all my wargaming life, I played against an opponent a handful of games, and these were online with my friend Ian and my friend Curtis. I could give my feedback and some advice to friends and to gamers who are very similar to me, solo gamers. They don't have people close to them to play games, and they want to enjoy a game by themselves. So what is solo gaming at first? What solo gaming is a mentality. You have to have the mentality of solo gaming. You need to enjoy, understand the benefits. If there is no other option, you can play a game whatever time you want, stop it, go for a coffee, go for drinks, come back, continue. You have the option, of the time and the option of making any choices you want, and you don't have anybody to play against that he won't be available, he will have a specific time frame, etc., etc. So let's start first of all a simple understanding of what solo gaming is. Now, solo gaming would be fun, let's see it, for a player if it poses some unpredictability. That's what we all say, unpredictability in our game. But unpredictability in a game is provided by dice anyway. Dice are unpredictable. Now we have d12s in some games, we have d6s, we have d10s, we have a lot of dice, different dice that provide different results. But most importantly, their predictability is already provided by the dice, by rolling the dice. You never know what you're going to roll. Obviously, the rules accommodate, let's say, historical accuracy by giving modifiers to better units. But again, dice are unpredictable. You can never really know what you're going to roll. You can never know if you're going to roll an ace. You never know if you're going to roll a 10 or a 12. So dice are already given their predictability in a game. Now you will tell me, Nick, okay, that's not enough. We need to do more. Obviously, we need to do more. So let's go to the simple setups that can help you and that I used to do, and then continue with the more complicated stuff. So what you can do as a solo gamer, first of all, you can set up your games and make them not fair. I never play games that are fair in a way. I always have bigger units, bigger armies fighting smaller armies with more miniatures and more commanders and better commanders. This is a setup that you can create, and it can make the game more difficult for one army against the other. Terrain plays a very important role. For example, you can have this army here, Baron's War Army, to cross the river, difficult area to cross the bridge here, and you can give difficult terrain, or you can give obstacles and could give advantages to the other army. So by placing the terrain in order to hinder one of the two armies and not make the game equal, this again gives unpredictability to the game. So terrain, in my opinion, plays a very, very important role in how you will enjoy. And obviously army size. You can have a peasant army against a royal army, or you can have a weaker army against a stronger army, but the weaker army will have the advantage of the terrain, and all these advantages that you can give by setting up. So this one also gives an unpredictability and fun to your gaming, because when you play with an opponent, you try to make equal terrain, equally sized armies, and here, and obviously for both you to enjoy the game, but here you can have more fun by giving a disadvantage to an army, by giving a disadvantage terrain-wise or deployment-wise to an army. So I think only by the setup, only by the army composition, only in thinking of the die rolls, you can have a fun and solo game. Now, recently, obviously, we have a lot of books and booklets that are coming out that have more sophisticated and more specific information and mechanics of how you can fight a solo wargaming campaign or a solo wargaming battle that gives you some choices, some table die rolling that would generate different units moving or movement on the board. There are quite a few books. One of them, for example, is The Solo Wargaming Guide by William Sylvester, as you can see on your screen. An excellent book that you can get so many very, very interesting ideas and interesting mechanics, so how you can fight a campaign and a battle solo. Something that I have used, but not necessarily everybody wants to read a full book and use the mechanics. You want something simple. But again, many books, and there are more out there, that you can use to fight a solo battle or a solo campaign. So after the books, and obviously we said the basic stuff that you can do by using terrain and different sized armies and different army composition and an uneven, let's say, battle, you can have objectives. Objective is something that also helps enjoy solo wargaming. But for example, this Baron's War army maybe will have the objective of taking the gold, it will focus there. And maybe the objective of this Baron's War army would be to hold the bridge. Two different strategies, two different ways of fighting. You have to protect the gold, but again, you should not allow your first objective is not allow them to cross the bridge. At the same time, they have to focus in the gold, but they need also the army to cross. So you can have different objectives that will make an interesting battle. So by making the terrain unevenly deployed, making the armies uneven, putting objectives, this makes for a very, very interesting game, even if you're a solo wargamer. Again, dice provide unpredictability anyway. It's there to be unpredictable. Now, what other else you can use, and something you can very easily do by yourself, and it's in, for example, Hail Caesar rules, is blunders. When you roll a d6 dice, I don't know, in Hail Caesar, when you roll doubles, then you have the blunder, as you can see, table here. And you can be pushed back, go forward, attack. This is a very easy table to create, and create it accordingly to the rules you're playing. Anyway, this is quite generic for Hail Caesar. Fall back, attack, go to the side. This can be applied in any rule set. But if you're fighting a specific battle, or a specific rule set, you're using a specific rule set, and you're quite familiar with it, use this idea to create a blunder table. When this blunder will roll, maybe in the initiative, if somebody rolls a double six, maybe it will be rolled in another stage of the mechanics and the phases of the game. But for sure, this blunder idea is excellent. You can use it with the 10s and the 12s, not necessarily with 6s. If you say you can roll, you can fail morale test, for example, it can be a blunder, or it can be a reaction to a failed morale test, or in the movement. So you can use a blunder stage and add it inside your mechanics of the rules you're playing very, very easily, and will give unpredictability to the game. This blunder table for Hail Caesar, as you can see, is a great idea. I think it should be incorporated in many rule sets, and I think it's very easy to house rule. Just don't be afraid to house rule your rule set. It's so simple. It's so simple to house rule a set of rules with a simple blunder table at any stage you see fit, and after any die roll, or depending on the die roll of the rules you're playing. So another good idea is a blunder table, or generally a table that you could create events. But now we have the new rule sets that have been really improving from the original rule sets that we used to play. Rule sets are becoming more sophisticated, they provide more, they provide campaign rules like Baron's War, they provide different booklets that support. So let's go to the new rules and see what can help us in solo wargaming. So now we have cards that are used in many rule sets, recent times. For example, cards provided by Test of Resolve, and cards that you can be used instead if you don't purchase some cards that you have in specific rule sets, as for example, Blood and Crowns, where you are not in control of what you're going to move first. You're not in control of events. So it's unpredictable, it gives unpredictability. This is a very important part, and this is a very important addition, and it can very easily be a solo game because your plan is based on the drawing of the cards. You don't know how many you will, and you don't know what plan is there, and you don't know what you will do. Then you have to focus, depending on the card drawing, where you will move, what you will do. The same here. In Blood and Crowns, you can use obviously Blood and Crowns cards, but I don't have them, I haven't printed them actually, so you can use this. Depending on what card you will draw, you will have specific number of actions, and you have to do specific things. So by cards dictating what you move and how many times, immediately the unpredictability of the game, the solo friendliness becomes apparent. This is one of the most important parts of a game. So the new rule sets that provide cards, in my opinion, Prologue games, Test of Resolve rules, and we're going to go to other rule sets also now with more extended ideas about unpredictability, immediately provide a very interesting setup for solo wargaming. You don't know what you're going to use. You don't know when you're going to use it. You don't know what you're going to use first, and if your movement then will be interrupted by your opponent, and then the other part of your army will not move. So cards for me are a very important part of a solo wargame. It provides extra unpredictability, and now new rule sets always have a lot of mechanics based on cards activation and events. You can draw an event and suddenly everything will change, and you have weather changes that are going to go to this subject very, very soon. So cards, very important, very good for wargaming. You don't have to make your own cards because there are rules there with cards that provide unpredictability. Test of Resolve, Blood and Crowns, never mind the Ruckus, Bill Hook's rules, all have cards that provide excellent unpredictability in your game. And now let's go a little bit further on the card concept. And I'm going to Bill Hooks. It's the same with Never Mind the Ruckus. And I apologize if there are other rule sets out there with a similar, where you get a bit more sophisticated here. And you have the playing deck, where you draw the decks, and it tells you what units you will move. Then you draw, in a specific time of the battle, you draw an events deck. So this is, for example, an events deck, and the rules will tell you an event that will happen, and you may have to roll for a special event deck. This is a bonus deck, special event deck that will give you advantages. Suddenly there will be a fog of war, suddenly will be the sudden rain, the weather will change, or a unit will get some extra movement. Excellent ideas from Bill Hooks. I think something that it creates really a nice atmosphere of unpredictability and the unknown, and you're trying to manage your battle against all these events. I think in Never Mind the Ruckus they call them mishaps. And you have to organize your strategy, and as an actual commander, that during the battle, and not everything goes your way, you need to be aware of what is happening. You need to be aware of events that you are not in control of, and then you have to find a way to manage them. So weather changes and events, as I said, that also Test of Resolve has event cards that will appear in a specific timing in the battle, can create unpredictability and very solo friendly. Now, Bill Hooks and Test of Resolve have, because they have cards and Blood and Crowns, they have the events and the weather changes and the events, they have them in a specific timing within their mechanics, especially Bill Hooks that has a more intricate event card drawing. But you can do this very easily within any other rule set. It's not difficult to have a specific phase where the die rolling at the beginning of the initiative you roll, and a specific die rolling will mean a change of weather. It's not very difficult to say it's raining for the next round, and then that means that the longbowman can shoot, but they will shoot only half their maximum range, or they will shoot with a -1. Very easy things, guys. We are experienced wargamers. We can play these things around very easily. So cards, weather changes, create a great unpredictability to a game and make it great fun. So guys, I think, I didn't want to make this video very long. I think by all what I told you before, you understand how easy it is to enjoy a solo wargaming battle. Again, obviously fighting with your friends. It's fun, you have your drinks, you laugh, you used to do some jokes, there's some misunderstanding in the rules. But again, this is not optimum option. But if this is the only way, like me, they're so easy to enjoy a game, from card drawing, weather changing, mishaps, blunders, not having a balanced battle, giving the advantage to a specific battle, putting objectives different for every army. It's very easy to create an even more unpredictable game than fighting an opponent. The social issue is obviously not there because it's fun to play against your friends. But if you want to enjoy a solo battle, it's so easy nowadays to enjoy, and actually maybe a much more interesting solo battle than you would have fought by an opponent that you have to do everything fair. Your friend you're playing, you know, everything fair, everything about, you know, terrain should be balanced. Obviously both of you to enjoy. You cannot really destroy someone, make him have 2 units, and you know what I'm saying. You're playing a game so both you can enjoy. But there are many options that for solo gamer, for a gamer who doesn't have another option to play a battle with friends, he's living abroad, he doesn't have any gamers around him. I think there are many options out there, and I'm sure you know more, that will allow you to set up a game, enjoy it, and have fun. Anyway guys, this is from me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Campaign, I'm working on the campaign, coming soon, the first part. I hope you will enjoy it. Very narrative, very cinematic. Let's see how you're gonna like it. Now we have votes for the title of the campaign, and the Baron's Gambit is #1, and we have a couple of more options. We're quite close to it, but it seems that Baron's Gambit has the advantage. Anyway guys, that's from me. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel. Have a great new year, and talk to you soon. Enjoy your gaming. Bye bye.